as we know, Oracle database is robust, and it has started for some years. It has moved from one version to another version, and Oracle database worked on grid computing before, and this infrastructure or this technology, grid technologies, allow us to be able to manage a large database and give us the easy access to a stored data, which is in the tabular form, that allow the work more easier. Either you are loading it in or you are retrieving information. So it helps us to keep our information from small to large data, up to about terabyte, working terabyte. We can save more application. Then we can Oracle database interact with other application, other platforms. It uses Java enterprise development platform. It uses other application to interact with your application, and this Oracle database also can work with mobile applications. When you develop mobile applications, a lot of tools are together with Oracle database. So in this generation, we are working on cloud computing. So Oracle has a platform called cloud computing. In their Oracle cloud computing, you can manage your database from the cloud, from wherever you are. So you don't necessarily need to install it on your system or have it in your office in your house. So it's seamless and help you to manage your database anywhere in the world if you can subscribe to what they have. So Oracle database is a RDBMS concept enabled. It means Oracle database work with the concept relational and object relational database management system, which we call RDBMS concept, which relates our objects together so that we can have easy access to the data and see the relationship between the entities. So relational model and object relational model. One of the features is relational model and object relational model. Relational model relating object, relating tables together, relating entity together. So we see any entity, you see it as object. So you see, for example, I have a marker. The marker has a pigment black color. I have the size, the height, and all the features of this marker. Alright, we can have that marker. We can have a supplier table, which is an object also. We can relate the marker table and the suppliers table together. So there is a relationship between them. So for example, we make a sales. In the sales table, we have a relationship between the three tables: markers table, suppliers table. On the sales table, we have the sales ID. Then we can have information of the marker on the sales and the supplier on the sales record. User define data type and object. We can define our data type fully compatible with relational database and support multimedia and large object. Because of the object relational database, we can use video and picture files on an Oracle database, because those things consume space, consume memory so much. High quality database server feature. So the server is robust and capable of doing any work you want to do. Oracle database store data and data storage on different media. Oracle database doesn't just involve. There are different platforms that exist before Oracle exists, but at the beginning of this, we have different storage, data storage media. We have electronic spreadsheet like your Excel that look like this guy, look like this. It's going to be Excel spreadsheet, the grid spreadsheet. Now we have file cabinet, and we can store files one by one, so you can see the file cabinet. For example, in your office you have file cabinet or a wardrobe. You see it has a different drawers for one step to second step to third step, depending on number of steps. So we can have step A, step B, step C, step D, step E, step F. For quick retrieving of records of each from any step, you can quickly go, I want my file from step C, like that. That's file cabinet. But when we talk about database, we have DBMS, we have RDBMS. The DBMS talk about the database management system that are not related. We can store it later, unrelated. But now we have to note that Oracle database help us to relate our objects. Alright? Relational database concept. In 1970, Dr. E.F. Codd proposed the relational model for database in which an object should be related to another object. It is basis for the relational database management system, why we can manage multiple objects without actually opening those objects, because we can create an object that capture all the details from all other objects and stay there and access all the information we need from all other tables. We give us the ease. The relational model consists of the following, which collection of objects and objects or relation. Object is what we call, I said, a marker, a person, school, business, and so on and so forth. It's a relation or object. Set of operators to act on the relations. We can use a lot of operators, our set operators, our arithmetic operators, to be able to work on that and ensure data integrity for accuracy and consistency. Data integrity ensuring that when data are retrieved, it should be consistent. Means it has integrity that is dependable, is reliable. So the definition of relational database: a relational database is a collection of relation or two-dimensional tables controlled by the Oracle server. It's a collection of relation collect different objects together. That's the relational database. You collect them and you relate those objects, like a customer related to a product, like on the sales table. The sales table have a relationship to customer and the product the customer is buying. So that means that when we have a record or perform a transaction for a sales, in the sales we have a relationship between the product and the customer and the staff that sell out the product. Now let's look here. We have in the Oracle database, we have the HR schema that help us to a sample that we use to train people, like Oracle server. In the Oracle server we have employees, we have department. These are two tables. If you describe your employees, you see the details: employee ID, first name, last name, email, telephone number, salary, commission PCT, and department ID. The department ID there is a foreign key because it is the relationship point between the department table and the employee. Every employee comes to the business and are grouped to different departments. So under the employees table, there's a relationship to a department. Let's look at the data model. The data model here, the data model help us to see what we have in our head or in our mind. Means, oh, I open a cake business and I want a database to manage all my details and all my transactions. From there, what we need to do is we have a model of system in the client's mind, like a light. The light is, oh, I want something automated system to manage all my records, all my customer, all my purchases, and all my sales. That's great. So we're gonna model it as, see it as an entity model of client model. Alright, a table model or entity model. So table on a disk means the model for the cake. We're going to break it down. Cake database, and the cake database we have what we call table model. Tables inside, we can have customer table, cake table, cake production table, and so on and so forth. All of them are combined to the database. Relating multiple table. If you look at it here, each row of data in the table can be uniquely identified by a primary key. For example, in our HR we have employees table, department table. If you describe the employees table, you will see a column employee ID, which is the primary key, means is the parent key that does not allow duplicate. Does not what? Allow duplicate. Means there is no 200 here, there is no 2101 on this column. So that make it unique. Make it unique, and it's a primary key. That's a parent key. For example, in your father's house, you are a child. Your dad is the authority in that family, in that home. So that means when you got married and you go to your own place, you have your family, you are the authority. But anytime you and your brothers go to visit your dad or your parents, in that place, all of you are children. So that means you are a child in your daddy's house, but in your own house, you are a parent. So in other words, a parent key in its own base table, when it appears in another table, for example, department ID is a parent here called the primary key. Whenever it appears in another table that is not the base table, department ID appears in employees table, apply in the employees table. That means that department ID here is a foreigner, is a foreign key, or we call a child key. A child key is not the owner of employees table, it's just a foreigner. So you see that here we have duplicate of 90, 90, 90. 10 employee can be in the same department, but on the department table, which is only for the department's information, can only contain 10, 20, 50 without duplicate. So that's the relationship. That's actually what we use to combine or to relate tables. So that means department here, ID here, when it appears here, we use it to relate, group each employee to this particular department, so it relates them properly. So that's the truth about relationship. Table. We've been talking about objects. Objects in database are relations, and we said, well, what are the objects? Example of the object is a table. Table is a major object in database. All other objects works on table depend on table. Table is a database object for storing data. It's designed in columns and rows with intersect cell. Means when a column and a row intersect, it brings you a cell where you enter your value. A table can accept as much as possible record. Record is a record on a row. When you put a record, it cut across the columns, and each intersection, a cell under that will receive a record, a value. So every row is a record of an entity there. Now we also have other things. Synonyms. Don't forget, we're going to be writing all this code. Synonyms for an object. A synonyms is simply access to object by creating a synonym. Means alternative. It's synonym. I do call it AKA. Alright. Alternative name. You can create an easier reference to a table that is owned by another user. Let's say for example I have table employee. I want to give it another name, EMP, or employee emp details, emp underscore details. You can give it another name. Or sometimes maybe we have a long name. We have a registered prospective student. It's too long, so I'll reduce it. Reg underscore pros underscore st. That's reg prospective student. So alternative to our rename. Now index is a schema, is a schema object. Now what is a schema? If you are in Oracle database, a schema is a logical collection of database objects. A logical collection of database objects. Index is used to speed up the retrieval of rows or to speed up the performance of your system. When you are working on a database in a warehouse, you need to create index so that you can easily retrieve them by using a pointer. This can reduce disk input and output by using a rapid path access method to locate that quickly. Index is automatically created when you use a constraint on a table. For example, a primary key. Every time you create a primary key, by default an index is created for that particular column. Then index is independent of the table that is indexed. Is used and maintained automatically by the Oracle server. So the Oracle server uses it for assist the retrieving of our records and operation. Sequence statement defines a sequence to generate a sequential number automatically. For example, you have entered product ID 25 and you want it to start from 25 and keep going to 35, 45, 55. So all you need to do, you need to create an index to generate a sequential number at a start and at an interval. We're going to be running all those code in our operation, so that's where we're going to store. Please download this file. To download this file, you can enter this password. To download this file, use this as your password. Use this as your password. Name of the company, Chic Micro 133. That's your password, because if you download this particular file, it's going to be downloadable. Ensure that you enter, it will prompt you for password Chic Micro 1234. Thank you very much.